Hey everyone, this is Tori Hober, and I just want to talk a little bit about sensation and perception, as they were kind of the main topic of chapter 3. Sensation is kind of like the data that our brain is taking in through what we do in our everyday lives, like touch, sound, taste, sight. Those kinds of things are all sensation. And then perception is what our brains do with that information once it has it from our sensation collecting it. And they kind of work together just by sensation getting that data and then perception turning it into things that we remember, things that we'll use, those types of things. But what was interesting to me more than that was, as it was kind of talked about in the textbook, is how we receive colors kind of depends on the construction of our visual system. And it's interesting to me that we all kind of have a different one. And they know specifically, like, some men are colorblind. It's more prominent with them, or that dogs will have a different visual light than we will, and other animals can have a different one as well. But it's interesting to me that, like, I'll never actually see the world through your eyes, so how do I know that you are seeing things the way I'm seeing them, if that makes sense? It's like, we talked about this in neuropsych, which is why I'm kind of really thinking about it too, but it's just odd to me that, like, we kind of make these connections between how my brain and your brain works when we perceive stuff, but do I see green the same way you see green, if that makes sense? Like, are we seeing the same shade? Does it differ at all? Or are the things kind of all the same for the both of us? I don't know, that's kind of interesting to me to think about. But also, like, in relationships or like people that we're attracted to, like, I think that social media does have an influence, I would say, but I think that we all have like a differing opinion on what we find to be attractive. And I think that, like, sensation and perception play a really big role in that, because how we, like, when someone walks by and they smell good, or when we run a hand along their skin and it's soft, it's like, I think those things kind of play into how our brains are perceiving them and like what we think of them. Because it's like, upon first sight you find someone attractive, but maybe I don't find someone attractive. Like, it's just interesting to me that, like, our brains are perceiving these people differently, and because of how we're perceiving them, that can influence if we're attracted to them. I don't know, just some food for thought there. But yeah, I just think it's really interesting about how our sensation and our perception, those two work together to kind of really influence what we're seeing, but also the things that we do, the people we're attracted to. But I hope that makes sense. I kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent there, but if anyone listens to this, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this, and if there's, like, any more science that can really back up whether or not that is a different thing. So, but yeah, that was my little vodcast for you guys to kind of think about there. So thank you. Bye.